Hey guys, how's everyone doing? So I'm going to try and do something a little bit different here. I'm actually going to be painting a model on camera. Now it's my first time doing this-ish. I can't remember the last time I've done it, so don't judge. I mean, you can if you want, it's up to you. Yeah, this is my first time trying something new, so I am going to, I'm going to paint, and then I'm going to talk to you about shit, because I don't know, I think that'd be kind of fun, just a bit of a, something different. So, I played a game with my Drukhari. I did 2 games, and I'm going to talk to you about them. So, it was very odd. So the first game I played, I learned very quickly that with the Drukhari, they're very quick, but you want to do positioning with them. Oh, by the way, I should show the paints I'm using. So this is, I believe it is Shyish Purple. Yeah, Shyish Purple. So I'm going to be painting with Shyish Purple. One sec, guys. Yeah, so with Shyish Purple, I'm going to use contrast paint Shyish Purple. So you see I've already got the model itself. I've already primed it in a gorgeous lead belcher. It didn't graft quite well, but that's okay. I'm just going to slowly brush down, you know. Slowly and carefully. My first time really doing this. I consider dry brushing it, but I don't know, I kind of like it. Yeah, I'm going to do about 2, maybe 3 thin coats. I haven't thinned it down too much, just a little bit, but yeah, so this is my Drukhari Raider. Now, so, what was I saying? Oh yeah, my game. Yeah, so when I was at my game, it was good. I learned a few things. One, positioning is vital with these guys, because they're very, very easy to fuck up. Like, they're not soft, no, they're more like, they're very quick to die, because they're very, very, very small. So a lot of the time what will happen is I ran in, they did a lot of damage, but as soon as they got shot at, they kind of just went kaplooey, you know? Which was fine, because it was my first game. It was just against Tau, which was fun. Very, very shooty Tau. 2 hammerhead gunships, 3 hammerhead gunships. 2 with railguns. One was his leader. It was like a Farsight in the ship or something. He had himself a mech, which was cool, just the regular broadside, I think. That was fine. What else was there? Not much else, to be honest. A lot of very shooty list, to be honest. Very, very shooty, which was interesting, because I don't usually play shooty armies. I have Votan. I haven't painted them all up. I only have about 600 points or something like that, but they're very fun to paint, very fun to fight with. I don't hate them. I don't love them. The Votan are definitely not something I consider really going back to, because they're just not my kind of playstyle. It's like, with these guys, a bit of a dispersion. If any of you played the game, which I'm assuming you might have if you're watching my channel, or you just paint and hobby, which is still cool, respect, fucking love that shit, you know, you do you. If you've played the game, you'll know that there's like 3 main types of armies you have. You've got, well, I say 3. There are 3 styles, really. You've got shooty, so you've got a very basic gun line heavy. You've got melee focused, and then you've kind of got a mix of the 2. So the Drukhari are very melee focused with a little bit of shooting, which are very fun, because they have poison weapons, which their strength is just complete garbage, because it's like strength 2, no AP. But you're hitting on 3s, and you're wounding on 4s every time, unless you're taking the poison tongue, which in this case your poison weapons are like +1, so you're shooting on 3s, you're wounding on 3s, which just makes it a little bit nicer. I went with the Cabal of the Black Heart, because I like running witches, and I don't have any witches, but I use some proxy units for witches. But I'm getting a little bit off topic here, because I'm about to start talking about my game. So the first game, yeah, went very basically. I got in, I got shot at my Ravager, which is my second model, my second transport unit that I have. Got shot off the board turn 1. Everything else, my entire unit of what do they call them? They're big. They're not big. The Cavalites. Yes, the Cavalites. Got one of them. That was fine. They got shot off as well, almost turn 1 as well. But Archon survived, as well as my Incubi, which were very, very good, because I have 10 Incubi, and Drazar, they came in, absolutely fucking murdered the Tau, because they just locked him into combat with my Raider. Because my Raider had my Incubi in it, locked him into combat so he couldn't shoot my Raider out. So the only thing he had to deal with, the only thing he could really shoot me with, was no other units. So the Raider gets in, knocks out most of his stealth suits at the time. I think he had like 3 of them because he wanted to shoot the fuck out of me with like a couple of bit of chaff infantry, but it wasn't very good. Once those crumpled, the next thing that happened was I unloaded my incubi. 1 squad of 5 went straight towards his drones, so now the incubi can't get shot, and my 2 squads went straight for his my other squad went straight for his Tau Hammerhead, which also couldn't escape because then it charged it. My Drazar was kind of a bit scuffed. He nearly died like 3 times because he kept getting shot at, but I managed to save, and I rolled my dice and I saved my shot, which was very fun. But yeah, by the end of it, very, very fun game, very quiet. Not a lot of shooting. It's more like a game of proof of concept, I guess, for both of us, because I wanted to see if I could do a very incubi focused army, and I can. I'm not having all incubi. It's very melee heavy, which I don't mind in the slightest. To be completely honest with you, I kind of like playing melee because it's more. It's like the new. Oh, hold up, I'm gonna turn this a little bit. You'll see that better. Yeah, there you go. The new Khorne, the new World Eaters, they have a 1 page of stratagems. They're all just pure fucking melee, and that makes me exceedingly happy. Because from what I've seen, I haven't actually read the codex yet, but I've only looked at a few things. From what I've seen, they're very melee focused heavy. You get in, you fight as quick as you possibly can, and if you can fight, well, you can sort of tough it out a little bit. Angron, beautiful model, won't get him yet because I have to focus on my Drukhari until I finish my tournament, and then I need to get a couple more points because I want to do like a few different list designs with them. Very fun, very fluffy, and I say fluffy for the World Eaters. I mean, there's nothing fluffy about them. Them motherfuckers are just filled with spikes and gore, which I guess is kind of in its own way fluffy in a sense, because it's very yeah, these guys don't care about psychers, and shooting is not a big deal. They want to run in, spill as much blood as possible, and then just keep fighting. And I like that because they have a lot of rules that keeps your army from getting out of the fight, from getting away from you to shoot you back, and they're very, very good at doing that. And I like that because that feels like World Eaters. I mean, I don't know a lot about the World Eaters lore. I'm not a lore guy. I love listening to podcasts about it, but I'm not very oh, I know how to train, I know how this works, and I'm very good at the game. I'm not really good at either. I focus on. Oop, hold up. You're gonna see my arm for a sec. Yeah, there's my arm. Woo. Yeah, no, I'm not. I don't know. I'm not a smart guy when it comes to the lists and stuff. I don't focus on, hey, this is how synergy works and tournaments and shit. I don't care. I've never really been a big tournament guy. This is my first ever tournament. I usually just play the game because to me, I just like playing the game. But I got asked, I was like, hey, we need some numbers, can you fill them out? And I said, fuck yeah, I'm more than happy to try. And I got a teammate who's an absolute G. He's a fucking legend. He played Grey Knights with me for my second game, which is what I'm going to talk to you about in a short minute. But yeah, that was very, very fun. And to be honest, it was quite surprising learning a little bit more about my army, because Tyranids fucking suck. If you want to fight Tyranids and you don't know what you're doing, you're going to get stomped hard, because what I did was I basically didn't converse. Oops, sorry, I'm just going to try and do something a bit different. I didn't converse with my partner. So what would happen was, hey, look, I'm just going to run in. I'm going to try and get all my incubi to pick off all the Hormagaunts, and then that kind of fucked with me a lot, because what happened was my incubi my Raider ran in, got into combat with the what do they call them? The Hormagaunts, and then fucking died after 2 rounds of combat because I decided to run in against 30 Hormagaunts thinking I was going to be fine. And in the end, the only thing that ended up happening was my asshole got puckered, and then all my incubi, my incubi died. Drazar dies, because he's got a really cool ability that I'll tell you about in a second. Drazar dies, sadly, sad boy gone, sad boy. So when Drazar died, I was like, oh, fuck, we're not making out of this one. And then from there, it was just an uphill slog. constantly just like everyone getting shot out. My witches died from 30 Hormagaunts, but they only really died after they did like so much, just a constant kill stream. I got to my Archon, it killed like most of it killed like a bunch of Orc boys, and then finally I got to do one good round of shooting with my last squad of Incubi. Actually, not my Incubi, my what do they call them? My Cabalites. Ah, shit, I didn't even tell you my army list. Sorry. Okay, so, backtrack. I was running the Cabal of the Black Heart. I was running Drukhari. I had 2 Raiders, 1 Archon, 1 Succubus, Drazar, 10 Incubi in 2 squads of 5, 20 20 Cabalites in 2 squads of 10, a 10-man squad of Witches, and that was it. Now, I made Drazar my Warlord. I gave him the Warlord ability. I can't remember what it is, but it basically means your Incubi reroll hit roll. I then made sure that my... Oh, what do they call them again? Very fun. My Succubus. Yeah, I made sure my Succubus were all completely bare bones because I wanted to save the points. I then gave my Witches were all completely bare bones. My Succubus has the weird Shardnet Impaler, I think it is. Like, it has this weird weapon that I really like that basically means that it gets like 12, it can get a shit ton of attacks, but it also has the backlash of dealing damage to itself. I then gave my my Incubi, my Archon, the Gin Blade and a Blast Pistol, which were fine. Didn't shoot much with the Blast Pistol, but that didn't really matter to me. I really just wanted to make sure that he had a gun that if he had to, he could shoot his way out. Didn't really need to, because he just fucked in melee, which was fine. I completely forgot about my buffs for my army. Like, a lot of the time I didn't realize that my Archon could give my my Cabalites stuff to do, like they had like better hitting or something. I think it was like reroll wound roll, and yeah, reroll a wound roll. My Drazar didn't get to get Tormentors off. He got it off, and he nearly used Tormentors, which basically means that your Incubi are scary. So what you do is you roll Tormentor, you roll 2d6, and if your leadership is high, if your 2d6 are higher than their leadership or equal to, you win, and then you fight again. And then he's always eligible to fight again after, as long as it's not someone else's fight phase, which is just awesome to me. I'm going to see if I can like properly do this, because I'm not really looking through the camera. Alright, so you can see my hand here? Yeah. But anyway, so the Cabalites were very good. They stayed on the objective, held that motherfucker closed until they couldn't hold it anymore. I was very proud of them, because they sat down. Well, the first squad of Cabalites anyway. First squad of Cabalites I put down, they sat down, they sat on the objective, and they just didn't get shot at. They just sat there, they were fine, they were dandy, they had a tea party, discussed their favorite torture methods and what they like to do with their victims once they're finished with them. One of them said that he was actually a seamstress, and was like, yeah, no, I made the coat for our Archon, you know? Had a very particularly picky subject, very, very complaining, constantly, ugh. So delightful, but I must say, sometimes it can really get on your nerves, if you know what I mean. Yes. Anyway, so the Cabalite was very cool. He was fun. He was good. I had a Dark Lance in my Cabalite squad that was sitting on an objective. That fucking rocked, because it killed their war boss in one shot, which was fucking awesome. And then we had a little bit back. Oh, nice! I got a message. Oh yeah, there we go. So then my Cabalite kind of didn't get a lot of shooting done, but that was fine. No, my Cabalites didn't do a lot of shooting, which, I mean, I'm kind of glad about. They didn't really need to do the shit tons of shooting that I wanted them to do. I just wanted them to sit down, hold an objective for as long as possible, score up as many points, and then just either sit there, tank as much fucking damage as possible, shoot all of their shots, and then die if they need be. Which they did, which was good, and they did a very, very good job. Which was actually kind of nice. My second squad, though, however, my other squad of Cabalites, did not fare very well. Because they tried to get a few pot shot off. They didn't get any of their pot shots off, which was fucking sad. They didn't kill much of anything. Their copter, the enemy squad had orcs, and they had the Death Copter squad. fucking annihilated my other one of my raiders, which had my witches in it, which just then sat down and just couldn't fucking battle, which was kind of sucky. But that was that. I was fine. But regardless, yeah, it was a good round, good battle, good time. Had a lot of fun. Very, 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 very fluffy for the Tyranids. It felt like a proper Nid list. We're talking, we had like 60 Hormagaunts, 1 Hive Guard, a Brood Lord, I think it was Neurothropes. I don't remember exactly what he had. I don't know needs, but he had a nice amalgamation of stuff. And the fucking Hormagaunts were just so fucking brutal, bro. Just this constant agony of getting shot at for like, not even just getting locked in melee, couldn't do anything, just had to sit there and fucking tank that shit. And then eventually, what the guy did was like, hey, I've got a 5-up field no pain. I've got a 6-up field no pain now. So whatever shots I did land ended up getting killed. And I was like, no. But in the end, it was fine. I mean, I half expected it. The Nids are very, very good at getting. And I'm just going to flip it around. There we go. The Nids are very, very good at getting just constantly shot at, which is fine. They're fine. I respect the Nid Swarm. Very fun. Very, very, very fun, because it felt like a proper horde slog, which is what I wanted. I wanted to do a proper, big old, we're having fun, this is a slog, nobody cares about winning, we're just trying to kill as much shit as possible. We did secondaries, which was one of my favorite things we'd done at the time, because I've never done secondaries before, and it was just a proper good game of Warhammer 40k, and I had a great time. But yeah, and I think the thing I wanted to really say was, like, it was good. Like, no matter what, I guess the thing is that when you're only sole focused on playing a meta and winning, do you enjoy the game like that? Do you enjoy playing a meta and just fucking winning as quickly as possible? Or do you want to, like, play with, or do you like to play the anti-meta, you know? The shit that not everybody else is running, you know? Do you want to just do your own garbage thing that doesn't really work, but you like it because it's fun? Like, what is it to you that makes Warhammer the game good? Or even the hobby? Because the hobby itself is so fucking delightful. I mean, sure, you're always going to have toxic community in it, and that's always going to happen. There's always going to be one guy who's a prick, and there's always going to be one lady who's, like, super uppity about themselves and doesn't understand shit. And that's normal. Because no matter what happens, as long as you're enjoying it, fuck it. But yeah, I'm going to do one more final base coat, because I've been doing this for 17 minutes, 52 seconds, now 53. I'm going to end the video, and then I'm going to hop back on in a couple hours, and I'm going to do a bunch of dry brushing. So I'll see you later, guys. Goodbye. Wait, why did I say goodbye? I'm not goodbye yet. Goodbye, not goodbye. Fuck it up. No, not goodbye. Don't leave. Fuck you. Don't leave. As you can tell, I don't do long form videos very much, because I've never really done them. So yeah, we're going to finish off with the painting. With the contrast paints. I'm loving the deep purple. It's not very rich, because I'm not very good at painting. I'm trying out different techniques. This is my first time trying to see if, like, contrast will look better if I contrast it and then I dry brush it. I'm going to assume it will, because it's going to bring out more depth and color to it, which is good for me, because I want to do that. I want to bring out more depth and color. It's a little daunting. This model is a little daunting because it's so large and there's so much to it, but I respect it. I like how big it is. I like how thick and chunky and just so big and, like, very imposing. It feels Egyptian, and the reason why I say that, my girlfriend was very much like, be careful when you say that, because it can come across as being, I think it's yeah. Be careful when you say that, because you can sound like a dick. It's beautiful. Well, actually, to be fair, she said, doesn't. You know what? Fuck it. Doesn't matter. This is just a gorgeous model. It feels very Egyptian because, as you can see, the hieroglyphics on the front right there. It's got a very sleek vibe. It feels very much like something that they would write across on the River Nile, which is fucking awesome, to be honest. I like that. I like that feeling. You know, it's very, very cool. Plus, I don't know, man, I figured out that you don't need the upgrades on the Raider unless you're like using a very oh hey, this is my shooty list. I put all my I put like Cabalites in my Raiders, and then that's it. I don't really see the point in that. Not a big deal. It's not a big fucking deal. I wouldn't do it. That's fine, you know. You want to do that? Fuck yeah, go for it. Oh, hold up, just 1 sec. Cheep, cheep. Come on, get the fuck on there. Oh, yeah, baby. There you go. Okay, then we got the next bit. Chip, 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 chip. There you go. Yeah, I don't know. I like this. I like talking to you guys. I mean, I hardly expect anybody to really be listening, but you know what? Fuck it. You're all cool. And it really does mean the most that people watch this. Like, going on a little tangent here, I remember the first time I ever got to I got to like 300 views on one of my 300 views on my on one of my episodes. It made me so damn happy because it felt like people were watching, you know. Like, I mean, 10 views is cool. It's 10 people. 20 people is watching. That's 20 people out of their day. 300? That's enough to fill at least two movie theaters. And by movie theaters, I mean like the seats, like the actual like theater bit itself, not the whole theater, because I highly fucking doubt that's there's a bunch of theaters. But yeah, it felt awesome. You know, it like really felt like a proper, you know, hey, this was cool. And I think that's what really got me back into this, was just wanting to be creative. But yeah, I didn't talk to finish. Yeah, so I had my Incubi and my Raiders, Incubi in my Raider, and my Drazar in one of my Raiders, as well as one Witch Squad in my Raider. It ended okay-ish. Like, it wasn't the perfect match because it ended, like I said, I ended up rushing in way too quick. I didn't really think about what I was doing because I tend not to think. When I play these games, I don't really think about everything. I just rush in and I have a good time. And I did, but I learned something about my armies that I have to be patient. I have to be not stealthy, but I have to be very sleek. I can't just fuck up. I can't not just fuck up. No, I can fuck up. Fuck up, man. Always fuck up. Be happy. Make mistakes. Don't let those mistakes tear you down. No, not that. I have to be patient. I can't run in and just stay there. You know, I have to be very careful about what I'm doing. Otherwise, what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up getting caught in a trap, and then I'm going to get stuck, and then I'm going to kind of dick myself over a little bit. And my teammate, and I did, and I felt bad, but my teammate was such a fucking G. He was like, "Nah, man, we're having fun." You know, that's cool. Because I got a tournament soon, and I want to get better. I think the only way I can get better is I fuck up. So, you know, for those who are at home who like just feel like they're not doing much of anything, or they feel like they're not worth it or whatever, it's not true. You're not going to be perfect. There's no such thing as perfection. It's an impossibility designed to make you feel worse and so that you'll do better. And in the end, what really happens is you just don't want to try. Try. Just try. It's going to be okay. No one's going to hate you for it. And if they do hate you, they don't really care. They never really cared for you in the first place. But thank you guys for being here for the past 23 minutes and 25 seconds while I painted this Drukhari Raider. It was really, really cool. I know the minimal editing might be a little bit garbage. Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to put him back in frame because he looks just fantastic. I know the minimal editing might be a little bit annoying / jarring / just make it feel very amateurish. Trust me, I'm trying. I don't have all the money to like buy SD card reader and all that shit right now. But I'm very happy with what I've done. I think it's awesome. I think this model is awesome. I think my channel is I think I'm having a good time. But yeah, see you guys later. I'll speak to you in another couple hours or another day or so. Goodbye. Ah, fuck.